Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Man, I'm excited right now, and let me explain to you why. We have a NaDa game. Now, we already had a lot of NaDa games, so Artosis, why are you excited? Or maybe you're like, well, it's NaDa, so of course you should always be excited. Both of you are wrong, and both of you are right. What's actually going on here, so NaDa did play in the ASL qualifiers, and he did okay. He got reasonably far. If you watched my qualifier videos, if you haven't, I would suggest you go check those out. Some unbelievably good games in the qualifiers. Was really, really happy with those. But the big test to see if NaDa is actually kind of back is this exactly right here. It's not particularly what happens in this game, but the fact that he played a bunch leading to the qualifiers. It's like, oh, okay. So he has some sort of goal. He's trying to get 2,500. He succeeded super fast on that. And then we were like, okay, but will he play ASL qualifiers? Okay, he did. And he actually got pretty deep, but didn't qualify. Now, generally, a player that's not serious will then go and do other things. You know, whether that's playing Maple Story or, you know, just not streaming or something like that. But the fact that NaDa is still sitting there playing ladder after the ASL qualifiers are done, he's, for lack of a better term, he's back. Like, if you're actually still practicing after the qualifiers are done, after you've already failed in them, it's like, oh, because this is kind of like the least exciting time for a player that didn't make it in to practice. Because, well, you didn't make it into the big tournament, and, you know, it's a long time to the next one. You know, we have 2 ASLs a year, so the next one will be sometime in January or later. So that's a long time off. So why is he playing? Well, NaDa, I think he actually wants to just get into ASL. And if he does, I am telling you right now, if he continues to play, and I will keep an eye on this, and we will cast his games from time to time here on the channel. If he continues to play until the next ASL, he will make it in. It's not like he will probably make it in, guys. He will make it in. NaDa, like, the way you think about Flash as a modern StarCraft fan is the way that everyone thought about NaDa back in the day, and in fact, it's the way that Flash thinks about NaDa. He is the most unbelievable genius of StarCraft that there's ever been. So, yeah, if he continues to play, there is not a question in my mind that he'll be in ASL next season. So I am so pumped about that. There would be no cooler storyline than everyone's like, it's gonna be Flash versus Sulky. That's so sick. No, you know what's sicker? Is old man NaDa coming in and showing what he's got. Woo! I'm getting goosebumps right now. Chills all over my body. Okay, so he's playing nOOB here. We don't even care who he's playing. But nOOB is a real pro. You know, nOOB is someone who's been in ASL multiple times. He's not in it every time, but it's a good test for NaDa. We're playing on Metropolis. You can see already some decent damage on these Marines from that Zealot and Probe coming up. Another Zealot is coming, but NaDa should be able to hold this all fine. Loses 1 Marine for the Probe and Zealot. Totally fine. Vulture on the way. He'll run behind this depot and try to minimize damage. That was like, to steal from fighting games, that was like 1 frame from the Zealot getting damage there. That was crazy how close that was. Really, really good hold from NaDa. He kills 2 Zealots for 1 Marine and another hit on a Marine. So that's insanely good. Now has 5 Marines Vulture. I'm actually excited to see, like, where he goes from here, because range is on the way, and so you have to decide. It's like, okay, are we going to go CC bunker? Are we going to try to make a tank quickly instead of a bunker? Are we going to get mines quickly? Are we going to pressure? There's a lot of decisions that you can make right now. The safest would be bunker plus expand, but it feels like you have 5 Marines. Like, you don't really want to make a bunker in a situation like this. You've already spent all this money on Marines, and it's like, well, don't I have enough to hold? Well, probably, but maybe not. You know, if these Dragoons get up there right away and range finishes, he actually will just mangle your Marines. So NaDa ends up going for mines, gets the Vulture out, and notice he made the depot first and then the bunker. This is some exciting stuff. I was talking about some of NaDa's decision-making in a previous game. In fact, I believe it was on this map where he was bottom left against top left Protoss, and didn't he get like proxied and he went like drop and then forced his way out? We're already seeing like a lot of really high tier. Ooh, DT drop coming. Dirty. Some really high level decision making going on. Like the way that he's fiddling with his build and like getting this bunker is very, very safe. A lot of Terrans would look at this and say, I think I can just get a tank out and get mines out and be okay. But like this gives him 100% solid defense. So I like it. I like what I'm seeing. This one vulture trying to get some scouting done, lays a couple mines out there. Oh, Miss Micro there from nOOB. It looks like he didn't really realize what was going on because the vulture hadn't attacked. So this is a DT drop coming from nOOB. Looking over at NaDa's base, we'll see if he gets the proper defense. It's going to come pretty quickly. Like DT drop actually comes slightly fast. Excuse me. It comes slightly faster than Reaver drop. I know that that sounds crazy, but it's all about robo build time. Like, you can have it lined up so that you're basically leaving as the shuttle pops instead of waiting for a Reaver pop as well. I don't know if he'll line that up perfectly here or not, but whatever it is, it comes fast. It comes fast. So you need all your defense on time. Now, he's actually making a lot of vultures. And here is the push that I think he was planning for. So a couple things here, guys. The bunker, I think now we see what his plan was. He wanted to make sure he retained the Marines. He has vultures with speed out. So what he's going to do is poke with this army and then maybe try to run by. Well, he just tries to run by right away. Oh, that block! That block is really good. That was really good. And still one gets in. Oh, my God. Now, he sees DTs. He sees the DT tech. Oh, wow. I can't believe he got that DT with that. That is crazy. nOOB's DT rush now. Oh man, it's super weak because he got one of the DTs and the other one took a mine hit. So like this DT drop is almost destroyed already. I actually would like to see him micro those Marines right there, but ooh, good pickup. Excellent pickup. Ooh! It's a crazy game so far. All right. Missile turret, missile turret, missile turret. Okay, basically perfect as far as the defense goes so far. Laying a few mines as well in the questionable areas. Can't really foresee nOOB getting damage. In fact, he's just going to pull back. Does he even try to get that? I don't know. Good opener from NaDa. Truly. That was... I do like how he looked at this. I'm going to write this down after the game. Like the fact that, because you get into this type of position a lot, not this DT drop, but I'm actually going back and talking about when I was like, should he make the bunker? Shouldn't he make the bunker? You get into positions like that pretty oftentimes where like they put the pressure on and you had to overmake Marines and their Nexus is fast and you're like, what do I do from here? But the fact that he got like the quick speed vultures out with it and everything, it looks really good to me. And he's going to hit his factory times as well. Wow. Flies right over the missile turret. He's going to hit his factory times as well. Over here, is this going to be Arbiter or is this just going to be Gateway Man? Okay. So it's going to be Psystorm-based play. And he's getting a lot of gates. So this is going to be like 8 gates on 2 base. So I think nOOB looks at this and says, well, so far it's 1, 2, 6, 7 gates. Yeah. I have no right to say it's going to be 8 gates because it's super uncommon to see builds like this. But I think he's looking at it and saying, okay, my DT drop really failed there. It's not like he took economic damage or something, but he's got to be aware that NaDa could potentially move in with a push. Now, the Vulture's trying to rotate around and get some damage. nOOB coming back, trying to make sure that there's no mines in between here. Looking up at NaDa's base, he's just going up to a pretty standard 5 factory play. +1 is coming up. Psystorm here for nOOB. This actually kind of reminds me of like some StarCraft 2 PvT builds in a little bit. You really don't see plays that look like this. Like the very fast 2-base Psystorm 7-gate plus legs. Like you're definitely safe against a 2-base push, but if NaDa just makes a 3rd command center, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Now, of course, there's counterplay from Protoss. Maybe NaDa gets out of position or something. Maybe a nice drop comes in that gets some SCVs and stuff like that. I don't think he'll be able to bust him because if you just set up in this general area, it's really hard to bust on Metropolis. And 2 base is really not that scary. Even if you kill most of their army, they're going to be fine because your third Nexus is so late. Single DT walking up. Oh, does he see it? Yep. Sees it, kills it before it can do any damage. Now, walking out for an attack, this is going to be probably the worst thing that could happen for NaDa. He might, right at this second, still have a big enough army to fight. But nOOB has done everything in his power to make sure he doesn't die to something like this. So as long as he just stalls it like that, moves back and forth, and then hits like a couple side storms, he will crush this push. So, like, NaDa attacking here, he's saving his scans, by the way, for specifically the DTs. So he doesn't know 100% what's going on. But look, that's very fast speed zealots. He gets on top of it. Look at the side storm on top of those siege tanks as well. And nOOB is really crushing this push. Yeah, situations like this can be pretty hard to identify what was going on. I'm going to go back and look at that after this game, I think. But NaDa does start a third command center like during that push, but he lost a huge chunk of his army. Now, NaDa's not dead. I want to make that clear because this third Nexus isn't mining. If this was mining and he starts a fourth Nexus while that happens, that would be like a more standard game than what we've seen here. But at that point, I'd be like, okay, NaDa's so far behind. But that's just not the case here. Like, NaDa still has plenty of play. He's up in workers. He's rotating vultures around. Oh, my God. And in fact, with this, he's going to be way ahead. This is an amazing move from NaDa. Woo. That's a lot of probes, man. 37 workers left. 30, yeah, he went down to 37 against 59, which is a huge advantage for NaDa. NaDa adding a couple more gates. He has a dropship on the way. Do we have a science facility? Don't see a science facility as of yet. I feel like he probably wants to get that. Maybe he forgot. Maybe, you know, he was just micro in there, so he hasn't made it yet. But hopefully, for his sake, he gets that. The dropship is going to be really useful because this is the type of low econ game where you can't afford enough cannons. The vultures just continue to run around absolutely everywhere. Ooh, good block there with the Dragoon. One mine gets in, or one vulture gets in, and he'll be able to clear that. Okay, so not too much damage there. Good block. Kills 5 vultures for like 1 probe. All good there for nOOB. nOOB being down so many workers right now is rough. If NaDa just macros really cleanly from here, it's going to be fantastic for him. The one thing he's super missing is that science facility. There it is. You know, this could have been made a long time ago and gotten his upgrades going. And if you look at this gas tank, like getting a few science vessels in there would be amazing as well. Now, the drop coming in, man, NaDa is just crushing here. Not 100% perfect game, but he's playing against nOOB. Like, nOOB, again, nOOB is a pro. He plays in KCM, he plays in ASL. He didn't make it this season. You know, Protoss just didn't have that many players qualify this season, so, you know, he's one of them that didn't make it. Whew. But this was really worthwhile. Good drop right there. Another factory, second armory. Another dropship coming up. Good setup here defensively. That's kind of a funny depot wall. I feel like I'd make that here. You're more likely to hold this area and block here. Whereas if he attacks up this way, it's in the way. You can't really you can't really reinforce. It's funny that he took this base, by the way, as opposed to this base as well. Just a little bit different choice. Because this base isn't that hard to hold. This is a tiny ramp when the minerals are still there. NaDa fighting against a million goons with 2 tanks. Gonna pull back as he should. 4th command center is on the way here. Yeah, I got to think a little bit about this placement there. So, laying quite a few mines here. Gonna get some more harassment. You know, again, he probably should put up some cannons at this point, but like on 3 base, with the amount of damage that's been done, it is a little bit hard. Not really targeting with his siege tank, but that's okay. Just any damage done at this point is very, very good for NaDa, who's taken a 4th base before nOOB is. Noob trying to rotate up here to kill that tank. And yeah, of course he will be able to. 2-1 on the way, or actually that should be 2-2, right? Oh no, he actually never got the +1 armor. But it's okay. It's not a huge deal. And what? He's just building more command centers. Dude, NaDa's so good. It's hard to sometimes even get yourself mentally into the right position to build a base like this in Terran vs. Protoss. But this is the right type of position where, like, you're really running him ragged. So even if you're trading inefficiently with the 4th base coming up and you just throw down another command center, there's no reason not to. It's actually a very good play that we don't see too often. But normally Terran isn't this far ahead at 15 minutes as well. Noob right now sending his army up to try to deny this 4th. Another siege tank drop going to be coming up. Just so annoying. I think he should, like, just keep a DT back here or something like that. Throws down some Psystorms. I think we're going to see a GG relatively soon here. Good targeting on those probes. Look at this, 39 to 68. My God. The damage is so insane. And I can't believe this isn't in range of that photon cannon. That's crazy. If I was playing, that would be in range. What a wildly good game from NaDa here. Now, like, Noob is going to GG in a second because, like, he's basically spending his entire army. He's taking damage all game long. He's at 22 probes. This is just not really a playable situation. Look at this, 21 kills on this 1 siege tank. He's trying to make something happen, but, like, I think he'll just take stock of where he's at in a second here, and that'll be it. The fact that NaDa is going to mine from top right, like, the level of domination in this game is pretty impressive. But again, I do want to go over a couple things which I find really, really cool, as Noob will finally be GGing here any second. You know, well, Noob, if he actually had map vision, he would leave because he'd see that this is the case. I actually, like, he has never scouted 12. That's why he's still in the game. See that? I just took off the vision. He's literally never sent anything to 12. Oh, okay. That makes so much more sense because I'm sitting here. I'm like, why doesn't he leave? But if you think it's 2-base, and it looks like this from your point of view, you're like, yeah, that's okay. Like, I'll stay. There's a non-zero chance if NaDa didn't take this, that Noob wins, but it shows that he is really far off on his assessment of where this game is at. And obviously NaDa has kept so much pressure on that Noob hasn't been able to send anything out for scouting these other positions. But, like, really, if he checked the replay after this game, he's gonna be like, oh, damn. that was rough. Oh, my God. Much worse than anticipated. That happens sometimes to everybody. Yeah. Glad I actually checked that vision, because I'm like, what is going on here, man? Are you griefing? Like, what is this? Man, the funny thing is, like, you can see he's still killing all. Okay, GG is called. Okay, I want to just take a quick look at this. Man, NaDa is everywhere. Okay, so there's two aspects. So I already talked pretty heavily about this bunker, and I think that this was, like, a very cool move, right? So the next one is the push out that he does. Okay, so right now he has vultures there, so we're gonna put this a little bit faster because this is actually like almost like a difficult to discuss strategic thing that can happen. Okay, so his vultures were just in here, and he's got like a mine there. He doesn't really have vision of this. So the DT drop he already knows about. He knows that DTs are out. He's going to get his comsats. The comsats. It's not that this is late. It's like the game is pushed back a little bit from the early action. So it nothing too wrong about this. Yeah, loses that. But he wants to save the scans. So the thing is, he doesn't know when this is, and he gears up for a 5-base. Oh, okay. So the vultures just got in. So they've scouted that. He clears this. Now, the thing is, you assume that Protoss is just going 3rd base. because that's like always the case. I actually, looking at this game again, this was a good call from nOOB. Even though you like never see something like this, again, this looks more StarCraft 2-esque, like 7 gates, speed, Psy Storm on 2 base. Now, if you cut some of this out and make the Nexus right away, which is what NaDa was expecting, because that was the last time I believe that he gets to see in here. So watch, right? He kind of moves up to this position, uses a scan for an observer, uses a scan there. So he doesn't actually have intel. He thinks that probably probes have just started mining here, which would make this attack much, much better. And sending this SCV there, that's crazy to me. That's like very impressive. Okay, so see, this is what you expect to see. So he's like, yeah, okay, continue pushing. This looks good. Saving scans. He's got 1, 2 scans right now. So he's just like watching for DTs. You can't scan this right now because if DTs come up and you scan that, it's like you just assume it's there. So look. NaDa's vision, NaDa's vision. Okay, and now he's like, wait, what? Right? Based on the way the game has looked so far, it's like, wait, you have Psy Storm and speed and this many units in total? Now, the thing that I think is hard to describe, because it's actually something, you know, I'm always kind of working on my understanding, becoming a better player, becoming better at understanding what I'm looking at and everything. Like, StarCraft is so deep, guys, that, like, I'm still learning stuff and updating my vision of what StarCraft is literally all the time. Like, every time that I look back about 2 months at what I thought about StarCraft, I'm almost, like, disgusted. Because it keeps updating where it's like, oh, no. Okay, so these more difficult to understand concepts. So I want to talk just for a second about the concept of this attack based on what we've seen so far. So like I said, I said it during the cast that he's okay when he loses this because it was on 2 base. Whereas I said if he loses this, and there's already a 3rd mining, and he starts a 4th Nexus, suddenly you're basically dead as NaDa. Okay, so those are 2 big different things. So NaDa's attack, when you look at it from this angle, even though he loses, this is a super, like this is 9 tanks, 5 Goliaths. Those are the units that matter here. 9 tanks, 5 Goliaths. That's very valuable at 10 minutes, 40 seconds. Very valuable. That is like, all of his money has gone into making this army. Now, the attack out, if the 3rd base went up right after those vultures like he expected it to, this gets a lot of value. In this particular case, it gets crushed. Very good engage from nOOB. Basically crushes it. 2 tanks end up making it out. He clears everything else, really. Okay, I guess 1 Goliath maybe made out too. Now, if you look at NaDa's decisions, there's 2 decisions. One is you attack and try to punish the 3rd base. And the other is, the one that I am more likely to take, is like you expand. Okay? Now, if he attacks and the 3rd base is taken, he does additional damage. Okay, good. The attack kind of worked, and he's taking a 3rd behind it. And I think that's why he took this, is so that even if this goes wrong, and you're expanding here, there's a decent chance he cancels this. This is way out of position. If he tries to go up here, first off, he doesn't even know. Second off, if he tries to go up here, that opens up a route for you to either trap the units that are here. Maybe you lay some mines or something, and you trap them and kill them. Maybe you counterattack. Maybe it lets vultures through, right? So, yeah. And here's the other thing. Oh, God. It's so hard to get my thoughts in line here and to say this correctly, so forgive me for the ramble. But if you punish 3rd base, good. If they kill your army, not good. Like, in theory, like, technically, if he had just expanded and kept this army alive and then added in factories and then attacked, he's way ahead. Crushingly ahead. But this isn't bad because he doesn't know about the fact that this isn't there. So because that's not there, even losing this army, it's like such a fringe circumstance. And it's probably not one NaDa was even thinking of, but it makes the attack still okay. And I think that there is, it's kind of an interesting thing where it's like, okay, well, you have to move out here because what he's doing is bad enough that you'll be okay even if your attack goes wrong. Hard to put it into words correctly. I hope you guys understand. I think you do. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.